Red to Res.
Welcome back to Red to Res. This time, another soapbox featuring talking about the Spider-Man deal that just went down.
Spider-Man does whatever started.
Alright, so, yeah, Spider-Man is now coming back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Very exciting news. He is still owned by Sony, but with a deal in accordance with them, he's allowed to appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which honestly is the best thing that's happened to the Marvel Cinematic Universe since like Disney unified everything together. Honestly.
So did you think it was going to happen?
I thought it was eventually going to happen. I thought it would have taken a lot more for it to happen than what did. Well, originally, like they were going to do a whole Sinister Six movie and a whole bunch of Spider-Man spin-offs, and they were going to try and create this whole
Venom Carnage. And
the whole Spider-Man, universe, which I don't think is a good idea.
No,
I don't.
Spider-Man
He's not
doesn't
big
have
enough to
Batman.
have it. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't. So
to be able to sustain a film, he has a bunch of supporting characters, but he just doesn't have enough to actually support a film, I think.
Yeah. So first appearance is going to be in Civil War. I think that's official. He is going to make an appearance in Civil War.
They said he's going to appear in a film before his own single film, so it's obvious he's going to be one of the three. But it's basically, I mean, honestly, their best bet is to do it in Civil War.
Yeah. And the thing is, they can introduce him earlier, even if it's not, have a casting. They don't need a casting actually for it. They just need to have a stuntman in a suit, just at the end of a credit. That's all you really need to do. Say, hey, look, Spider-Man's coming. Get the general audience hype. People who don't follow the news like we do. If that was an after-credit scene, the audience would just like, oh god. And if people didn't know about it, they'd be like, oh my god, and heads would just explode, brain matter all over the theater. It'd be beautiful.
Theater has to be cleaned out after guts end up everywhere and brain matter's on the wall. Didn't they do that with Thanos? Thanos wasn't cast until...
Yeah, Thanos wasn't really cast, until after we had seen him. So it's a very likely possibility that we'll see him. But, after his appearance in Civil War, which is Captain America 3, he's going to get his own standalone movie, which I'm actually... Made by Sony, produced by Marvel, whatever that means. So basically, I think the producer on it is Kevin Feige, who is producer on a majority of the Marvel movies. Almost all the Marvel.
Isn't the MCU the brainchild of Kevin?
Yeah.
Feige.
Feige. Yeah.
Fugly. Kevin Feige. No, he's a great guy.
So for the most part, it's going to be what Marvel wants it to be, and Sony's not going to have as much creative control as they think they do. They're just getting the money from it.
But at the end of the day, it'll most likely be, Marvel like, look at me. Honestly,
Yeah,
do you think
yeah,
you have the power in this situation?
Yeah. So after that, we're getting our first standalone Spider-Man movie, which I'm extremely excited about to see what they're going to do with the Spider-Man universe. What I'm actually more curious about is what villain they're going to introduce. Because they could do, honestly, they could go the Green Goblin route again, as we're seeing on screen right now, Green Goblin. He's a classic Spider-Man villain, the one, has given Spider-Man the most problems in his life. But more likely, I feel like they're going to go with someone that we haven't seen before.
Well, yeah.
And I guarantee... because it's... Yeah, go ahead.
The Green Goblin. Well, first things first. Norman Osborn in recent comics has become like a more of a greater Marvel Universe villain. You had Dark Reign, where he kind of took over Shield and changed it to Hammer. He was the one who invented the Iron Patriot suit, and he made his own like Dark Avengers. So ideally, Norman Osborn is perfect. Is just ripe for being everyone's villain. Especially, I could see him going toe to toe with Tony. But at the same time, for a single Spider-Man movie, I'm tired of seeing Green Goblin. We've seen him twice already, both times. I loved William Dafoe's portrayal.
He's amazing. Nothing will top that.
Yeah, but the costume was really spot on. So I would really want to see like someone new, whether it be Mysterio or my personal favorite. I would really like to see Craven. I think that would really bring an edge to his single movie. Yeah,
Craven would be pretty cool. We could also do the Vulture. Because he hasn't been seen, but I feel like that's a little bit less likely to happen
He's not
because
as cool.
I don't.
I mean, honestly, like
No, he just flies. That's all he
He's an
really
old
does.
man,
I mean, he's a scientist, but like, there really isn't much to do with him that I feel like it'd be a waste opportunity to have him be the feature.
I mean, Craven.
And I don't think
Craven,
they're definitely
really
not
just go all out on him, balls to the wall.
Oh, Craven's such a great villain because it's like
Grim Hunt.
It'll turn into like this kind of like a horror chase, really, where Craven's the hunter trying to trace down and hunt Spider-Man. It'd be awesome.
Like, and we could go the Grim Hunt route. I mean, we can set it up so we introduce Craven, and then as Spider-Man grows, also Craven, also the opposite of grows. He regresses, and then you finally have that Grim Hunt storyline, which is for most regarded as the greatest Spider-Man story of all time. I mean, Grim Hunt for me, like that storyline is like it pushes Spider-Man to a whole nother level in storytelling, because the angst that Craven showed, and the suicidal tendencies, and Spider-Man's black suit, just everything, it goes balls to the wall with the Spider-Man story.
I definitely think we won't see Rhino. That's good.
Yeah,
that goes without saying. But yeah, they could do what I really want to see is Venom and Carnage.
I want a good Venom so freaking bad. I just want to see awesome Venom.
Topher Grace as Eddie Brock, because you need to cast someone who looks the part, and all you need to do is cast the looks, because the acting doesn't really matter at this point for Eddie Brock, because he's a brute. That's all you really need him to be, is a brute.
Yeah.
So definitely won't see Sandman.
He's a little tired right now.
Yeah.
I think Mysterio or Craven are really are the top ones. With Green Goblin, like I said before, Green Goblin only being an option because Norman Osborn has become this wider Marvel villain. Yeah,
and that's the thing though. I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe needs better villains. That's just a personal thing for me. Like, because most of the villains like die at the end of every movie. Like Obadiah Stane died, and who else died? Ronan, Whiplash. Red Skull.
We don't know where Red Skull's at, but for all we know,
he's dead. Yeah. So
and then you have like the Abomination, who's alive, but they haven't done anything with him. Like,
well, it's because they're afraid to use the Hulk in a standalone movie, but that's neither here nor there. Now, here's something that sparks my interest. Say they cast a Spider-Man, and he's up for however many movies. Once his contract ends, I think would be the perfect time to bring in Miles Morales.
Oh, I'm ready. I was actually just going over this a few days ago. It's really interesting. I didn't realize Spider-Man has done a great job of introducing minorities. You have Anya Corazon, who's the new Spider-Woman. She's, I think, half Puerto Rican, half Mexican. You have Miles Morales, who's half black, half, I think, Puerto Rican. And you have Miguel O'Hara, who is half Irish, half Mexican. So you have three right off the bat. You have three Spider-Man characters, two of which who are actual Spider-Men. They are carrying the Spider-Man mantle, who are minorities. I think that is fantastic. I'm so proud of Marvel for that.
Now, here's the thing with Spider-Man allowed to be used in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This opens up for a lot of not just solo movies, but team-up movies. For example, a Spider-Man Hulk team-up, and Spider-Man Iron Man team-up, which I would love to see the two of those geniuses get together in a room and just talk. Like, I would pay to just see that. That being said,
Science Bros.
That being said, I really excited at the prospect of Fox might want in on this action.
You think so? You think Fox?
This opens the door for a possibility of someday that it happening, where we might get that Wolverine. Granted, I guarantee you, if it does happen, it will not be Hugh Jackman.
Hugh's only got about,
two.
Honestly, like two more Wolverine movies. Like, he has basically two more movies left. I think Apocalypse and Wolverine 3. And I think after that, he'll probably retire from the role.
Yeah. But more to the point, I kind of want to see a Spider-Man Deadpool movie. That
would be great. I love there was an issue of Amazing Spider-Man where they did a quick storyline, and there's also an annual. And those two times, I really enjoyed Spider-Man. Oh, and the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. They had Deadpool teaming up with Spider-Man, and their interactions with each other were fantastic.
Yeah, well, because like Deadpool always breaks the fourth wall, and Spider-Man's not really all that serious. But also, I kind of want to see a Wolverine Hulk movie, because that's where it all started.
Yes, Wolverine, and Wolverine first appeared in the Hulk issue, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. So,
And to go touch back on what you were saying earlier, the one thing I can say is there's rumors of Fox wanting to do a TV show, and they don't own the rights to X-Men on the TV show, so they would have to get Marvel to sign it off. So I think that right there opens the possibility of Marvel and Fox, finally starting to talk and be like, listen, what can we trade or what can we use to make this work for both of us? Which is what Sony and Marvel did.
With that being said, very excited for this new prospect. I can't wait to see what comes out of it. I'm very looking forward to seeing Spider-Man on the big screen with Iron Man and Captain America. With that, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, comment, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.